The following is a fictional role play. All names, places, and events are fabricated. So, good evening.
Hi.
So, my name is Paige Sanders, and I am the therapist here at the center. And I'm really looking forward to talking with you tonight, Jessica. Is there a preferred name that you would like for me to call you besides Jessica?
No, Jessica's fine.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So tonight I would like to concentrate on one problem that you've kind of been struggling with, let's say just in the last week, um, and kind of just talk through that and see if we can hopefully come up with some kind of solution to help you with your problem. So let's first kind of discuss a struggle that you've been having, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah. So um I work full time. I'm also in graduate school. So I'm pretty busy and my husband works away from home. So he's gone for like a week at a time. And lately we're just having a real hard time connecting, making time for each other, and it's just really kind of weighing on me.
Yeah, sounds like you have a lot on your plate right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's been hard.
yeah, I can imagine. Um, So I want you to think about for just a second, like for you to feel comfortable leaving tonight from our session, what is something that we can do or we can talk about that will make you feel just like a relief when you leave here tonight?
I think part of it is I think it's helpful to be talking to somebody else about it besides just him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe if I could figure out like, I don't know, a way to try to make it better,
Mm-hmm.
that would be
Yeah.
good.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is, you're really struggling with having time with your husband. How do you feel in those moments, like those days where you don't have that time that you feel you need? How are you feeling those days?
Yeah. Well, so we work opposite shifts. I work during the day, he works night shifts. So we only have like a few minutes to talk to each other
Mhm.
during the day and then we text each other some. But I don't know. I feel like lately our conversations have been like task oriented
Mm.
rather than really communicating. Um, and so I don't know. I just kind of feel like we're drifting.
Mm. Yeah. So in the past, have you ever tried anything that maybe helps with this? Or like I guess my question is what has helped in the past?
Well,
What have you
I
tried?
mean, we've worked opposite shifts like the whole time, really, but it just seems like I don't really know what the change has been of why. I don't know if it's just because we're both so busy,
Hmm.
and we have such limited time to talk to each other that it just feels like I said, more like we're just trying to make sure that each other does what we need each other to do, and I don't know, we're not really spending any quality conversation.
Yeah. Has there been any times where it's like less serious, where this problem is like less serious? Because it sounds like you guys have been working opposite shifts for some time. While
Yeah.
working opposite shifts, can you think of a time where you were able to make time for one another?
Yeah, like I don't really know what the change has been though. Like it seems like um we've done okay, throughout. It's just been in the last probably 2 months or so that I've just really been noticing that it's becoming more difficult.
Hmm, that's interesting. Okay. So if you don't mind, I'd like you to just take a moment to use your imagination a bit. Will that be okay?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So listening to all of your concerns with your communication, I would like you to pretend that you're going to bed this evening. Okay. And it's a typical evening, but when you wake up, there's this miracle that happens. But the trick to this question or to this, imagination that we're using, our imagination, is while you're asleep, you don't realize that this miracle has happened. Okay. So you wake
Okay.
up And what would be the first thing you notice? Like what change or what cue would you notice that this miracle happened, that you and your husband all of a sudden have time for one another and that, I mean, what would be a cue for you?
Yeah, so I guess it would be like when we talk of a morning,
Mhm.
um I would feel like we were talking about something other than our to-do list or about work. We would
Mhm.
be talking about, I don't know, anything other than what we have to get done. Um I think that would be a first clue for sure.
Yeah. And so if that would happen, how would that affect the rest of your day?
Mm, I would feel closer to him. I wouldn't feel as stressed out about um, focusing on the tasks at hand. I'd be able to
Yeah.
kind of feel like I had a partner instead of, well, I don't know if partner is the right word. I kind of feel like we're business partners right now. But I feel
Yeah.
like I had a spouse, that was there to support.
You'd have your husband, right?
Yeah.
The person that you married and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that would make me feel wonderful if I was in your shoes.
Yeah. It would definitely make me feel a lot more confident and a lot less stressed. And yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So if it's okay, I want to think of something else. I want you to think of like, so we're going to look at a scale, if that's okay.
Okay.
Um, we're going to look at a scale from 1 to 10, kind of like on a ruler. So think of it like a ruler minus the two. Um, and I want you to think about like 10 being that miracle, right? That you
Okay.
are feeling supported, that you're communicating, that you have your husband, and he's not just a business partner, right? And
Right.
one being like kind of feeling that defeat, right? Like, oh, there's just nothing else I can do. Just we don't have that communication and I'm stressed. And so today, right now in this moment, where would you put yourself on that scale? Like how you're feeling today?
Um, well, I think it's just really been kind of weighing me down for a while. So today I feel like I would probably put myself at like a 2 or a 3.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I could see that how that would relate to what we've discussed today, for sure. Um, so like ideally, realistically, right? Where
Mhm.
would you put yourself? Because we know that a 10's not going to happen as much as we want a 10 to happen. But realistically, where would you like to see that? Like, where would you like to see you and your husband's communication on that scale?
Yeah. Hmm. Since we are gone from each other so often, it wouldn't be 10 is definitely, I don't think, realistic for anybody, but I don't know, maybe like a 7.
Okay, yeah. And so if you were at a 7, what would that look like?
I would feel like I was able to talk to him about anything or everything. I would feel more bonded to him. Um, I don't know. I think I would have a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, yeah. So has there ever been a time that you feel like you were at a 7 with him, even if it was just
Yeah,
a one-time moment?
yeah. Like, um, it used to not be like this, even when we worked different shifts. But I think like recently, last night actually, we had a really good conversation about some other stuff that's going on, like land wise, and um, we were really able to talk to each other about it, and it didn't end up with like a list of to dos or um I don't know. I just felt like it was a really good conversation because we were listening to each other and not waiting to tell each other what needs to happen.
Yeah. So it sounds like you were using listening skills, maybe some validation in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, it sounds like that, I think you know what you want, it sounds like. You want to have more meaningful conversations with your husband. You want
Mhm.
those conversations about the two of you and not necessarily be about work,
Right.
right? Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. Because often we live and breathe work. And so we have to have that time to be us together.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Okay. So first, I want to thank you because you talked about a lot of your emotions today, and I know that can be a tough conversation about relationships. So I'd like you to, when you leave today, I'd like you to think about that validation and those listening skills.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and maybe think about like a time where he and you are less stressed, whether that be when you wake up or in the evening when you get home, like you wind down. And so while you're thinking about all of those things, I'd like you to pick one of those things and maybe concentrate and try it out and focus
Okay.
on just a little step towards that.
Okay. I could do that.
Okay. Would you be open in coming back and maybe like further discussing, your progress and maybe come up with different ideas to help you?
Oh, sure. Definitely.
Okay, wonderful. So maybe we can look at an appointment in about 2 weeks.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, wonderful. So I look forward to listening to your steps that you're going to make, even though that you may feel like they're baby steps. I think they're good steps, and you can kind of touch base next time we meet about it.
Okay.
And again, I really want to thank you for opening up and being transparent with this issue. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Jessica. The proceeding was a fictional role play. All names, places, and events were fabricated.